best number one tip for people selling in 2023. We won't say price because we just said that. But what would be your biggest tip for anyone that's looking to sell their property in 2023? What's one thing that you would say look out for?
Obviously, the best tip to get people sold is to use Avocado Property, of course, first of all. But no, joking aside, the marketing of a property has got to be absolutely spot on. For the last couple of years, it's been so easy, genuinely so easy to sell houses. You take a good couple of photos, you stick it on Rightmove, the phone starts ringing. I think a lot of estate agents will get found out next year, where it will get a little bit tougher to sell houses. And you said there, you've got to have your marketing plan. You've got to have bespoke property videos. An agent that genuinely cares about you and not just being a number. Because my office I worked in before, at one point we were down to 9 or 10 properties on the market because we'd sold everything. When those numbers start getting to having 20, 30, 40 properties, we remember what it's like when you had a stock list of 50 houses. You might not speak to your vendor for 2 or 3 weeks. So it's crucial you have a relationship with your estate agent and they're there for them and they genuinely care about getting you sold. That'll be the difference, in my opinion, over the next probably 6 to 12 months.
Yeah, totally agree. Georgina, what about yourself? Anything further than that in terms of tips for clients?
Yeah, I'm echoing what you're saying maybe a little bit, but to do your own research and not to be afraid to ask why an agent is suggesting a certain price. If they can't back it up with actual evidence, surely you just call them out on it. Surely, you must know. But people unfortunately sometimes see pound signs. And inevitably it doesn't work out for them. So yeah, lots of research on their marketing and your own research on prices as well.
Yeah. And Dan, do you think if you're going to put your house on the market, let's call it a family home, 3-bed semi, 4-bed detached, something like that, and it's just you've been there a few years, maybe the kids have run around, put a few handprints on, whatever, it's not an immaculate show home, do you think a good piece of advice would be to go down to Homebase, spend 300-400 quid and just give it a little touch up and give it a little refresh, not go to the level that they do in the US where they spend 30-40 grand on a refit? But do you think something like that helps you as an agent, or are you not really fussed, just plug and go? What's your advice
there? I think you sort of read my mind of what I was going to say, something along those lines. I was going to say, look at this, unagi. I was going to say, love your home and imagine you were buying it. So if your home's marketed, would you be interested in buying it? Obviously you live there, but you see people don't go to any lengths to even tidy, straighten up, make sure things are right. And I know that when we go to valuations, I'm sure all estate agents do, they should give some advice on how to best present it and get it ready. Do it, because you can see a vast difference to people who stage a home for photos and the video than people who just don't. Yeah. And you've got one chance to get it right when you market. It's like making a first impression, isn't it? So you've got to be absolutely A-star.
Yeah, no, really good advice there. And appreciate everyone's time on this call. I think there's people watching and listening, and I think it feels, even though the craziness of today, it feels like the market is just finding its place now on where it's going to sit for the next couple of months, maybe half a year, even a year. It feels like it's just sort of transitioned into what we know. And I'm excited for the UK housing market next year. I think people have hoped for it to have a correction. I think it is a correction, not a crash.